Hello, my name is Julie Snow, and today we're going to be talking about the CPA evolution. We've had a lot of questions from CPA candidates about what the CPA evolution is and what it means for people who are taking the exam over the next few years. So we've been collecting your questions, and we will be getting answers from one of our leading CPA exam experts today, Dr. Jeannie Yamamura. Jeannie is a CPA, MIM, PhD, and Wiley instructor. She's also an international consultant and educator who provides instruction and training to students in the US and around the world. Her career has spanned both the professional and academic worlds, including positions in public accounting, the financial services industry, government, and universities. Welcome, Jeannie. Well,
Thank you.
I think we should start off with the biggest question of them all. What is the CPA evolution?
Well, all right. The CPA Evolution is a plan to update the CPA licensure model to better reflect the changing skills and knowledge needed by CPAs now and going forward. Practice analyses that are performed on a regular basis have revealed that new CPAs need deeper skill sets, more competencies, and greater knowledge of emerging technologies. We've all experienced the rapid technological changes that have occurred in recent years and felt their impact on our organizations. New CPAs need to be able to understand, utilize, and adapt to these changes. To ensure this, the CPA licensure model needs to change.
Thank you for explaining that. Let's move on to the next question. What are the differences between the old model and the new one?
Well, under the old model, all CPA candidates took all 4 parts of the CPA exam: OD, BEC, FAR, and Reg. Under the new model, 3 parts will be mandatory. These core parts are auditing and attestation, or OD, financial accounting and reporting, or FAR, and taxation and regulation, or Reg. The candidates will then select their 4th part from 3 choices, and they're calling those 3 choices disciplines. They are Business Analysis and Reporting, known as BAR, Information Systems and Controls, which will be ISC, and Tax Compliance and Planning, which will be TCP. They expect candidates to choose their 4th part based on their own interests. Do you want to provide tax services? Do you want to get more involved in information systems? Do you expect to focus on financial reporting and analysis? Regardless of the discipline that you select, however, the CPA license will remain the same. It won't identify an area of specialization. It's just going to say CPA.
All right, our next question is, what is the syllabus of each part of the new model? In other words, what will we be tested on?
Well, that's really a great question. I need to start by pointing out that even though the names of the core sections have remained the same, the exams are not the same. The good news is that much of what you're currently studying remains testable in the exam. They have taken the current content requirements and moved them around into now 6 different areas. In the core areas, they've tried to focus on the minimum skill and knowledge levels. More complex or specialized topics have been moved to the discipline areas. They've also deleted some content, for example, business law, and then added some other content. What have they added? The new model contains a much heavier focus on data analytics and something they're calling digital acumen. In general terms, digital acumen means the ability to recognize, learn, and utilize changing technology in the performance of professional responsibilities. For example, understanding the role that information systems play in an organization's financial reporting system, and being able to identify new efficiencies that are now possible because of changes in technology, or identifying data being collected and being able to analyze such data effectively to aid in operating decisions. So you can see that the new exam is not the same as the old exam, even though some of the names are the same.
Last Friday on February 25th, the AICPA and NASBA published the official transition policy for the 2024 CPA exam, which provides answers for candidates who are in the process of passing the exam during this transition period. So here is a big question that we've been getting a lot. It's on everyone's mind. What happens if I pass at least one part of the exam, and the next exam period will be after the implementation of the new model? Or what if I partially pass the exam by the end of 2023? Will I lose previous subject credits?
And first, have no fear. You will not lose any credits. So basically, under these circumstances, the transition policy is going to come into play. So here's the transition policy. And if you look at it, it's pretty straightforward. There's a one-to-one relationship for odd, far, and reg. If you have passed those, you will get credit for the new ones. If you have passed BEC, you will get credit for one of the disciplines, BAR, ISC, or TCP. The reverse is also true. If you haven't taken and passed odd, far, or reg, you will need to take the new versions of those. If you haven't taken and passed BEC, you will need to select one of the new disciplines to take. Now, there aren't any changes to the 18-month policy. You're still going to need to pass all 4 parts within an 18-month period that begins when you pass your first section.
Our next question is about specializations. I'd like to understand how the specializations will play out and how does a candidate opt for them?
Well, let me take the second question first. When you sign up to take the discipline section, you will be signing up to take the area that you have selected. Now, as I mentioned earlier, they're expecting candidates to select the discipline area that most appeals to them. They have offered suggestions as to the types of candidates who might be interested in each part. So BAR, remember BAR was business analysis and reporting. They think that area will be of interest to candidates planning to pursue careers in assurance or advisory services, or financial statement analysis and reporting, perhaps technical accounting, or maybe financial and operations management. TCP, which was tax compliance and planning, will appeal to candidates who are interested in individual tax compliance and planning, or perhaps personal financial planning, or entity tax compliance and planning. And then finally, ISC, Information Systems and Controls, is geared toward candidates who would like to provide assurance or advisory services related to a client's business processes, information systems, information security and governance, or IT audit.
Well, it looks like we have another question that has to do with the transition policy. The question is, what do I do if I've passed 3 sections prior to the 2024 date and I must sit for my last section in 2024? How will that work?
I know, that's what everybody keeps thinking about. What if I don't finish in time? Well, first of all, you're going to sign up for your last section, most likely in the same manner as you've signed up for the previous parts. Then, if you need odd, far, or reg, you're going to sign up for the new version. If you need BEC, you're going to have to select from one of the 3 discipline choices, BAR, ISC, or TCP. And this last section will need to be passed within that 18-month period that began when you passed your first section. Now, the details for those who have an outstanding NTS, notice to schedule, as of December 31st, 2023, have not been released at this point. My guess is that the NTS would automatically be bumped to the new section unless it is for BEC, which requires that a choice be made. They have told us that the information along with the application process for the new exam are expected to be released late this year or early next year.
Interesting. All right, so how will Wiley handle updating the CPA review course materials for customers with the new CPA exam coming out in January 2024?
And, as you might imagine, this is a really complicated undertaking. Wiley is monitoring all of the new information released by the AICPA to determine exactly how the CPA evolution will affect the CPA exam. We put together a team of lecturers and subject matter experts to chart how CPA exam content will be moved, either to the core material or to one of the 3 discipline areas, how it will be added to or perhaps trimmed back. Now, currently, the AICPA has only released a big picture model of the CPA evolution changes in the form of a model curriculum that came out in June 2021. Draft blueprints are scheduled to be released in mid-2022, so July of this year, with the final at the beginning of 2023. Our team is working rigorously behind the scenes to ensure that our course materials are updated to match and prepare you for the new exam. We'll make updates to courses and materials as this information is released. But with all of our courses, we provide unlimited access until you pass the exam, whether it's the current exam or the new exam. And this includes all of the content updates you will need for the new exam. Updates are provided seamlessly through our online course platform. So whether you purchase a course today or in the future, you can be assured that you'll have everything that you need to pass the exam now and in January 2024 and beyond.
That's great news. Well, let's address a question about CPE. Is there any new requirement for CPE for currently licensed CPAs?
Yes, and the happy answer is no.
Great.
Current CPAs are not impacted by these changes, except perhaps in terms of the slightly different knowledge and skill sets that the new CPAs will be bringing to the workplace. So they'll see them there.
Well, it's nice to know that something's not changing. Well, I think this is our last question of the day. Being out of school for many years, can a program like yours prepare me to pass?
And my answer is absolutely. Our CPA review materials have helped many who have been away from school for a long time. Our review course is organized to present the material in a logical and easy to digest fashion. Your comprehension is then tested via multiple types of assessments that mimic the questions you will actually face in the CPA exam. If something new appears, for example, a new accounting standard, or perhaps you're having difficulty with a particular topic, we have many different supplemental materials that you can draw upon to help you learn and understand these topics. So you will have everything that you need and perhaps even more than you need.
That's great. Well, we wanted to close out by providing a few helpful CPA evolution resources. The first is evolutionofcpa.org. This is the official CPA Evolution website that's published by NASBA and AICPA, and it's where you can go to get the most current information about the new exam. Secondly, we have a resource on our website. This is where we're posting information about the CPA Evolution for Wiley students who are studying with the Wiley CPA review course and anything that's specific to the Wiley course. And then finally, just released last Friday, is the transition policy that was announced by AICPA and NASBA. And this is to guide candidates who are in that transition phase, maybe taking part of the exam before it changes and part of it after. So be sure to check out all of those resources. And one more thing I wanted to add before we finish is to make everyone aware of our Wiley Accounting Club newsletter. This is a newsletter that we send out weekly, and you can learn about the latest trends and news from the field. This would include, of course, the CPA evolution, but also a lot of advice on career, networking, and special discounts that we have on our products. So be sure to check that out. If you do have any questions for us about the CPA Evolution, our products, or anything related to the CPA exam, we encourage you to get in touch with us at the contact info listed on your screen. And we want to thank you for listening to our Q&A session today. Take care and good luck.
Bye, everybody.